Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Harrah's Hoosier Park for the Road to the Derby Challenge. Michael Chamberlain and Jacob Reinheimer here in the Dan Patch studio. Jacob, we are going to talk about one of the three races we have coming up this weekend, extended into the week of early part of next week. We'll talk about that later. But the Grade 2 Wood Memorial at Aqueduct with a purse of $750,000, a field of 12, so a fantastic betting race.
Yeah, I think this is the most competitive race for this final weekend of this Road to the Derby contest. I think a number of different ways you can go. A lot of unproven commodities here in this Wood Memorial, so I think this is fairly wide open.
Well, and the thing, too, is the last horse I think that came out of the Wood Memorial that ended up winning the Kentucky Derby was Monarchos. So that's going back a bit. So this race used to be one of the major prep races on the road to the Derby. I mean, of course, Secretariat lost this race en route to winning the Triple Crown going all the way back to 1973. But a race that certainly has had a little more cachet in the past. We've got a very strong field of 12 horses going a mile and an eighth at the Big A in New York as we take a look at our selections. And we do have a disagreement here on as far as the top pick is concerned. I picked Hill Road in the Tampa Bay Derby going back to March 8th, and Grade 3 ran third behind the front-running Owen Almighty, and I'm going to stick with him because I think I did like the race he ran, given the fact I didn't care for the ride. Now we have a different jockey here. Joel Rosario is going to be aboard for Chad Brown. This is a Quality Road offspring out of a Lemon Drop Kid mare. First time at Aqueduct. Had a third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile behind Citizen Bull, who was in the Santa Anita Derby on Saturday, and then took the time off, coming back with that Tampa Bay Derby. So second start off the layoff, and did work 4 furlongs and 48 and 4 on March 29th down at Payson in Florida. I really do like this horse, especially given that 9-2 price tag.
I went right next door for my top selection. I'm going to go with Grande. Dylan Davis aboard here for trainer Todd Bletcher, who has absolutely dominated this Wood Memorial for the better part of the last 15 years. So I'm going to ride this combination. Grande, one of those unproven commodities here that I talked about earlier. He is 2 for 2 in his young career. Both of those wins coming at Gulfstream Park against non-stakes company. But I like that he's already stretched out to a mile and an eighth down at Gulfstream in his last effort. And I thought got stronger as the race went on. A nice stalking kind of horse. He sat second in both of those starts before making his move to the lead around the last turn and then drawing clear from there. So I think there's a whole lot of upside for Grande, a son of Curlin out of a Warfront mare. I like the pedigree on Grande and one of these Repoli stable horses, so I'm going to ride with him for my top selection.
I do like the fact that we have kind of a little bit of a different take on this race because I have a Grande in third myself. My second pick is 8-1 on the morning line. That's the 5 Sand Devil. Jose Lascano riding for trainer Linda Rice by Violence out of a Mineshaft mare. 4 starts at Aqueduct, 3 wins, 1 second. The last of those 3 wins was in the New York restricted Damon Runyon Stakes on February 8th, and then was second behind Flood Zone in the Grade 3 Gotham on March 1st, but was sent off as the betting favorite there. Lascano has ridden all 4 of the previous starts, and I wanted to put this horse in there at a bit of a price, given that local knowledge where, I think this horse likes the racetrack, and I don't know if, going forward, this would be a horse that I would consider suit too much, but I do kind of think he's got a shot on Saturday.
Absolutely. For my second selection, I'm going to go to the 8 Passion Rules for trainer Brad Cox. This is another one undefeated in 3 starts. The first 2 wins coming against non-stakes company at Fairgrounds before backing it up with a win at Oaklawn Park on March 14th. I'm a big fan of this horse for trainer Brad Cox. One of those that I've just been impressed with to this point. He's raced at a mile and a 16 twice. He's won at that distance both times. Gets Kendrick Carmouche aboard here, a son of Frisian Fire. I think we're taking a shot on. Brad Cox has had his horses firing on all cylinders over the course of this Road to the Derby. He's undefeated to this point. Why not throw him on there?
Frisian Fire, one of the many horses that I have given the kiss of death to by picking on Derby Day. The other thing about this horse that's interesting is a Maryland bred. That could be interesting come Preakness time. They may be focusing on that race at Baltimore, the middle jewel of the Triple Crown coming up. The third pick for me, as I mentioned, is the 7 Grande. So my fourth pick is the 1 Rodriguez. Now, Bob Baffert is sending this horse across the country to be here to get some points to go into the Derby. He obviously had 2 horses in the Santa Anita Derby, so I think he's trying to kind of give himself as many chances as possible. They're taking the blinkers off of this colt by Authentic out of a Cherokee Run mare. Now, that bottom does scare me a little bit. Cherokee Run, much more of a sprinter than anything, but Authentic did win the Kentucky Derby if you go back to the COVID year when he won in September. Just the one win, the maiden breaking score at Santa Anita on January 4th, but was second in the Robert Lewis behind Citizen Bull, 3 3/4 lengths behind that one, and then was third in the San Felipe, but was 11 lengths adrift of Journalism, and still another 9.5 adrift of Barnes. So I think that this is not one of Bob Baffert's top flight, but he's trying to get as many into the gate come Kentucky as I think he's possible.
And that's what I was kind of thinking. That's why I put him fourth on my ticket. But I think this is kind of a win-win for trainer Bob Baffert. Ship him out east, try to pick up some points, as you mentioned, but then you get away from the likes of Journalism, Barnes, Citizen Bull, who are all racing in that Santa Anita Derby, and probably a little bit of a relief there for Rodriguez. But I do think he runs into some tough customers, so I've got him fourth. Third on my ticket, I go to the 2 Captain Cook. Manuel Franco aboard here for trainer Rick Dutrow. Winner of his last 2 coming into this, including a win in the Withers last time out over Aqueduct, winning by 2 1/4 there, going a distance of 1 mile and 8. So he gets over the distance, gets over the track. I thought that was a pretty impressive. He was sent off as the favorite in that spot, so I do like him underneath my top 2 selections.
All right, so that is our look at the Grade 2 Wood Memorial. 7-8-2-1 for Jacob, 6-5-7-1 for me. Certainly a bit of a difference of opinion, which I like to see. We've got the contest, of course. If you've got a different opinion than us, be sure to be out here on Saturday and get those picks in on the Trackside Promotional Kiosk, as we will be continuing our Road to the Derby Challenge. We've got the final week this week, as we've got 2 races Saturday, 1 race now on Tuesday. So we'll get to that, of course, in another video. But we are looking forward to a big weekend of Derby preps here at Harrah's Hoosier Park. For Jacob Reinheimer, I'm Michael Chamberlain, wishing the best of luck to you all.